Let's just go to NVIDIA and some of the reasons that we're seeing the sell-off. From a macro perspective, is this about the economy?
Yes, broadly speaking, yes, I would say that is the case. There is still a lot of uncertainty about tariff policy, about the implications for overall economic growth, the outlook for the consumer, the outlook for businesses. We are seeing signs that businesses are maybe pulling back on investments just because they are not sure what the tariff situation is going to be, what the economic outlook is going to be. All that kind of frozen activity, all that uncertainty is really just causing people to take some profits if they still have them and just, kind of take a pause and step back.
But when you step back, you start to look at the valuations, you look at the fundamentals, and you've done exactly that. For example, Amazon not been trading at these sorts of price to future earnings levels in years.
Yeah, so some of these names, at the start of the year, there were a lot of concerns about valuations. Those concerns are a lot smaller now, just given how much some of these names have come down. So in the case of Amazon, they have pretty strong earnings growth. They've been really focusing on efficiency and cost cutting, things that are really improving their profitability. That is really driving the multiple down. The multiple is about half of what it was over the longer term. It is cheaper than Apple now, and just a few years ago, Apple was several times cheaper than Amazon. So that is quite the flip in narrative when it comes to tech valuations. Amazon is cheaper than other retail names like Walmart and Costco. It's a stock that, given people continue to have pretty optimistic views about its long-term growth potential, the multiple here, it wouldn't surprise me if you start seeing people look at a name like this, say, it's really come off its lows, the fundamentals look pretty intact, still a lot of earnings growth potential and revenue growth potential ahead, even in a rockier economic climate. Maybe that's why they start taking a look at a stock like this.
But who is taking a look at a stock like this, Ryan? You get so much inbound in response to your stories. Are people starting to want to catch what seems like a falling knife?
That's something I've heard, the falling knife thing. I do think people still feel like these are pretty safe companies. The story isn't broken. Even if some of the air gets let out, even if the multiples come down a little bit more, I don't think people are really concerned about the long-term prospects of these companies. They're still considered to be, very dominant in their fields. And even if we see a weaker economic outlook, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Amazon, for example, maybe consolidate its market share, especially in online retail or retail overall. Cloud business remains very strong. It has an ad business that's growing a lot. There's certainly a lot of positives you can point to here, even if we see a lot more volatility in the short term.